Alright, so I'm just going to go over the build very quickly. It's not too complicated. This is a very simple build, I think. We only have a few things that we even want to focus on by going Deadeye. We want as much extra projectiles as we can. That was basically the whole reason I went Deadeye. So the first ascendancy node we grabbed was to fire an additional projectile. And on the tree we're getting a few additional projectiles as well. So here you can see we have 75 and 25 for 100% chance for additional projectile while forking. And we are forking through the snake pit ring. We also have quite a few jewel sockets here, just giving us additional chance for an additional projectile when forking as well. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we only have 4 of these for now. And if these are all 20%, that'd be 80% chance for additional projectile while forking. We're going to get a 5th one somewhere, probably either here or here. And we're going to re-roll all these so they're exactly 20%, so we have 100% chance for an additional projectile. And then, so other than the projectile shenanigans, for defense we're just grabbing evasion here. So this is the last thing I basically filled out on the tree. We just hit maps basically. I didn't really have any defensive problems at all through the campaign. It was just as we were hitting maps that, living became a slight issue, so we just grabbed these quickly. And after grabbing these, we're sitting at a 70% chance of evasion, so we're doing all right now. And then going further from here, we'll eventually just grab Wind Ward for that 3% less damage taken per tailwind, and of course we're going to grab tailwind as well. Now other than that, for the tree we've just been walking around picking up crit chance, crit damage, and fizz damage as well. So you'll see I've just filled out exactly what I said: fizz damage, crit damage bonus, crit chance, damage if I've dealt a crit hit recently, more crit chance. We grabbed a few additional projectile nodes here as well, additional projectiles. I'm not sure how these exactly work into the equation. I have to unspec out of these and try how the skill feels and respec it into them and see if it actually feels any different. And that's really it for the tree right now. It's pretty simple. We did a lot of traveling, and one other thing to mention is mana. It has become a bit of an issue at my current level, but luckily we are very close to a few mana nodes. So here's mana regen and reduced mana cost, reduced cost of skills, reduced reduced mana cost here again, and more mana regen. So I've already started pathing towards this one. I'm gonna grab this one and see how it feels. If it doesn't feel good enough, grab this. Once again, see how it feels. It should be fine after that, because it's only very recently that mana has become an issue. If it's not, we'll have to just invest more into the mana problem, and it might even come from gear. Speaking about gear, right now, nothing too special. As I said, we just got to maps, so we're using a life sprig for that plus $3 levels of spell skills. We have a plus 3 level all spell skills here as well, and then plus 1 here. This is quite a decent energy shield, I'd say, or focus, I'd say. It gives plus 1 to all spell skills, which we would like to change to plus 2. But it also gives crit hit chance for spells, spell damage, and spell physical damage. And Bonestorm is a physical damage spell, so that's good. Other than that, we just life and res. The snake pit that I mentioned before, life and res, and then Bushwick is actually what we're using to get our power charges. So Bushwick lets you pin, and we pin very often with the amount of physical damage you're doing. And then we have Resonance here combined with Combat Frenzy. And this is actually a good time to talk to the skills. So the way I leveled this character, by the way, was just using Bonestorm, and I just valed it immediately into 4 sockets. I went through about 10 Bonestorms and 10 Vels and Jeweler Orbs to get this. but I think it was worth it. It makes the skill feel way better. I think if I was still stuck on a 3 link, I would just wait until I hit a 4 link to actually play the build. Just because Scattershot, Ricochet, they give you a lot of utility, and they just make everything feel better. And you need the cast speed as well, just so that you can get the projectiles out faster. And then at the end, we just have this 1 damage skill essentially. Other than that, most of our damage is coming from gem levels. So right now we have a total +7. And so besides Bonestorm and the Bonestorm links, we're using Ghost Dance with Clarity, Fast Forward. Soul Offering, we're using it with Persistence, but I haven't used this really at all while mapping. It's a bit clunky to swap and it doesn't last that long. Maybe it's good for just bossing. As you can see, it's only 5.6 seconds here. Maybe we'll have to grab these skill duration effect nodes here to make it last longer and make it feel better. But for now, I don't really use it. I just have it on here because I have empty skill sockets. And then we have a unleveled flame wall basically. This could go higher, and I guess we could use it to do quite a bit of damage as well, or just to add to our damage pool. And then we have a lot of empty skills. What we'll probably end up doing is some sort of curse or mark, maybe vulnerability through blasphemy. I'm not quite sure yet. Yep, that's it for now. We have a lot of room to improve, I guess you could say. Maybe we could add ice wall as well, just for the explosions from Bonestorm. Yeah, other than that, I think that's about it. The next steps for the build, for the passage tree, I already mentioned it, and the ascendancies, you guys know what the plan is. Just crit damage, crit hit chance, evasion, resolving the mana problems, and then ascendancy wise, we're just going to go through for Tailwind. Gear wise, this is going to be replaced by a yellow wand with +3 level all skills, but with also other stats that improve our damage. So crit hit chance for spells. I actually have one already bought. Let's see. This one. So spell damage, spell physical damage, level of all spell skills, and crit hit chance for spells. So that'll be nice. And even then, this is a fairly cheap wand. All this gear is really cheap. Actually, we'll just have to upgrade them as we get higher levels. Like we're not even. We just hit 60. Okay, we're still 70. But I think originally when I bought all these items, we weren't even 65. So I didn't have access to a higher base chest piece, for example. So that's one of the things I would improve now. And maybe we'd even wait till 75, because for now, if the build, it feels fine. We'll wait until the build is in trouble to improve our gear. Now that being said, my plan is to take this build and the other 2 monk builds, so the charge staff one and the elemental expression one. We're just gonna run them through the end game, especially with the citadel changes and whatnot. I don't think there's any point in making more new characters until I've actually done the end game on some of these, and that also gives us more of a little, I guess, bank to use towards new builds. So that's planned for now, and that's really it. The next video will probably be after this character hits about 80, maybe 85, and we've gotten a 3rd ascendancy point, and the gear is much more fleshed out. Same with the build. I'm not quite, like I said, there's a lot of empty skill slots, so I'm not quite sure which direction the build will go. Maybe we'll grab even something cast on crit, because we should be critting a lot with all the projectiles we're shooting out. At least that's the idea. Maybe it works different, who knows. But hopefully, even at like 60 or 75% crit chance for Bonestorm, we are critting often enough where we could trigger something like a whatever that skill is, the winter eye, orb of winter, that we throw out, and it has all the projectiles, because those extra projectiles would probably scale with all the projectile nodes that we've taken. So hopefully that's something we could do, or maybe a different projectile skill. Just the goal is, if we do cast on crit, it'd be some sort of projectile skill that has a high base crit chance and has some sort of synergy with all these extra projectile nodes that we've grabbed. And hopefully it is Eye of Winter, just because it gives you that crit weakness. So that'd be nice. And yeah, that's about it right now.